Hi. How's it going, guys? If you're new to this channel, my name is Josue, and this is Hear Me Raw, where you are gonna hear me raw. And raw means you're gonna hear me uncut, uncensored. You know, I don't usually edit my videos. I kind of just put on a camera, and whatever happens, happens. And yeah, so of course, raw also has to do with raw foods. I think fruits are the best. I just got done eating half watermelon about 30 minutes ago, and it was amazing. Like, I was eating that watermelon and I was just like thinking back, because I went through a phase where it's a long story. I'll have to make a different video about my raw story, but my raw my raw story. I am from Haiti, so sometimes I get a little tongue tied. Certain words really get me. My raw story is a little complicated. A lot of things have happened. It's been kind of like just, it's like, I don't know, I feel like my vegan journey, my spiritual journey, I feel like it's just like fast forward. I went from 1 second I was this, and then I was like, boom, I just became a whole new person. Like, everything changed. My whole world changed. Like, my life literally got flipped upside down. Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Anyways, so many songs in my head. It's crazy. Life is a musical. I'm just happy. I'm really just happy. And I want to talk to you guys about life. I always talk about life. Everything is life. Life is everything. You know, life is everything. Living is the point. There is no point to living. Living is the point. Experiencing is the point. And there are so many things that keep us away from that. You know, I'm trying to help you guys, also reminding myself to not get caught up in the ego. Yeah, let's say that. Let's not get caught up in the ego. Life itself is an ego trip. You know, we all have egos, and we're all on a trip. We are all on this trip, you know, that we call life. So life is automatically an ego trip. But when I say ego trip, you know what that means? That means that anything can be an ego trip, to be honest with you. For instance, like me, when I was a big Motorola fan. I'm still a big Motorola fan. I have Motorola phones. I love Motorola. They're my favorite company. But there was a time when I felt like everybody needed to use Motorola, and I was pushing Motorola on everyone. And you know, I got some people to come over, but at the same time, they were pretty reluctant, because I was just so aggressive. You know, that was an ego trip there. Then I went vegan, and I was pushing veganism on everybody. Another ego trip, and I was very aggressive about it. I felt like everybody had to do things my way. You know, ego is like, the ego causes separation. The ego is very selfish, but not in a good way. You know, the ego is necessary, and I like that we have the ego, because the ego is like a little rascal. He loves to just, or he or she or whatever, the ego just loves to mess with you. It just loves to be in charge. Like, when I first started meditating, my ego did not want me to meditate, because my ego didn't want me to find out that he was in control. So, but it's this little fight that we have with the ego. But the thing is, ego, like I said, causes separation. So, Motorola, that was an ego trip for me. Veganism was an ego trip for me. Raw veganism, guess what? Also an ego trip. I was wanting everybody to go raw. I'm like, everybody needs to go raw now. And I still believe that. That would be nice, you know. But instead of me wanting everybody to go fully raw or whatever, I'm just going to find people that enjoy to eat fruit, that enjoy to eat fruit with their friends, that enjoy to be out in nature, that enjoy meditating. I'm just going to find people that enjoy doing the things that I do. So I put that out there, and I get that back. And it's beautiful. Spirituality. That is not the ego trip. And of course, a lot of people are going to be using this as an ego trip. And whenever something gets big, there's a good chance it becomes an ego trip, because then we want to separate ourselves from others. We want to start thinking that we're better than others, like we're different from others. But we're all the same, you know. We are all one. You know, like, through all these things that I went through many different ego trips. But then I'm here. I'm here, and I'm calm, and I'm happy, I'm collected. Sorry, I had to burp. And many people, like, especially when they meet me, but of course when they watch my YouTube videos, they ask me, how do I stay so calm? Are you really this happy all the time? I'm not happy all the time, but I am happy most of the time. I went through phases. I'm telling you, spiritual journey. I just posted on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. My links, social media links, are in the description. But I went through this phase where I was just going up and down, up and down, up and down. It was just crazy. I would go through these moments where I'd just be on top of the world, and then I would just come crashing down. It was like back and forth. Like the last year has been the hardest year for me, hardest year in my life, period. But also it has been the best, has been the most eye-opening. I've done the most amazing things. I'm just like, I just sit there sometimes and I just laugh. I just laugh. I just smile and I just say life is good, you know. And I'm grateful every single day. I put out love every single day. It's not very complicated to do what I do, you know, to live the way that I live. I'm simply just being myself. I find that that is the best and simplest way to live, and it makes the most sense, you know. Everybody's out here going on all these ego trips. Everybody's trying to say that, okay, I have found a way and you need to do this my way. But I don't see it that way anymore. But I was like that, so I understand where they're coming from. The need to want everybody to do things your way. But that's okay. People don't need to do things your way. People are going to do things their own way. And there is so much benefit to this. There is a lot of benefit to people doing things their own way because they're living their own lives. They're doing their own things. They're making their own choices. They're having their own thoughts. Guess what? They will find something. They will know something. They will be good at something that you are not. And this will help you because you can't be 100% just good at everything. You can't do everything, but living with others, talking to others, experiencing life through others, you can experience so many things. And it's beautiful. I love to live through others because you really do. Like when you're really like talking to somebody and you're paying attention to them, you're making eye contact, you're looking at their face, you're looking at what they're doing, their gestures, you can literally be that person. And at that moment, you can be that person. You can experience everything that they're experiencing. You know, so if they're talking about something beautiful, something amazing, you can experience that in that moment if you're paying attention. So there's beauty in conversation, there's beauty in communication, there's beauty in community, there's beauty in friendship, there's beauty in relationships, there's beauty in humans. And that's the thing, a lot of ego trips make you hate humans. And how can you hate human when you are human? And anything that's anyone else has done, yeah, you're capable of doing it too, whether it's good or bad. So why do we judge others so much? You know, the no judgment, that really got me to get away from the ego trip, to not have this be an ego trip. Because right now I could totally be ego tripping. Because where I am now, like, I have never felt so powerful. And it could easily be an ego trip. I could use this to do something selfish. But that doesn't benefit me at all. You know, I love to serve. I think being of service is an amazing thing. We tend to look down on people that are, you know, service, like, you know, in the service industry, maybe they're janitors, garbage collectors, whatever. But these people are crucial. I love to be serving. And in anything that you do anyway, even if it's high up, you're still being of service. And there's nothing greater than to be of service to others. I love it. But before I forget, I did want to mention one thing about, you know, wanting everybody to do things your way. I mentioned this a couple of times. You might have heard it before, but I was working in Boston with my friend, and we were talking about life in general. And I just told her, like, I found a way. This was after I started eating raw foods, and like I started waking up. I remember I bought my first crystal. It was a Jasper healing crystal. I was wearing it around my neck. I'd be in the city. I'd be like walking around shirtless because during the summer, eating mangoes. It's just like, you know, I'd be like still in my suit sometimes because it was a very classy place. But I'd be like wearing dress shirt and dress pants, and I'd just be sitting there, just my face with a mango. Funny, but oh man, I gotta pee. Actually, I'm gonna have to pause this because I had watermelon. So be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, like I said, I just had a watermelon, and I've been kind of like fasting the last couple of days. Not been eating too much. My body's kind of like detoxing, so I've like went to the bathroom maybe around like 20 times today, almost. But yes, So we were outside, we were talking, and this was after, like I said, it was after I went raw, and I was experiencing life in a whole new way. And then we got into that argument, and I was telling her, like, I found a way. Like, people need to eat raw. Like, this is like my way is the best way. I really believed that my way was the best way, and I wanted to push it on others. I wanted people to do things exactly the way that I did. And I used to call myself a big picture kind of guy, but I never realized how small-minded that mindset was at the time. I did not realize it. I thought that I was right, you know. And that's one thing with ego trips. We want to be right. We don't want to be wrong. We'll purposely avoid or ignore information that will contradict our beliefs, and we will stay where we are, and we will stop growing. Now, that is not something that you want to do. You don't want to stop growing. You don't want to stop evolving. You don't want to ignore. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is death. That is what I say. So we fought, and she got so mad, she actually left and went inside because I was outside, like down the street, and she went back to the bank. She went back there, and then so we were separated. And then a couple days later, I don't remember what happened, what made me realize that she was right. Maybe I was in nature or something, but I realized that she was right. And with me being very egotistical, I did not want to admit that I was wrong. But going through the raw journey, going through the spirituality, and cleaning yourself from the inside, once what happens on the inside reflects what happens on the outside. So if you start cleaning up yourself on the inside, like your outside world will change. And this time, when I was confronted with the fact that I was wrong about something, and she was like one of my closest friends, being confronted with the fact that I was wrong about something is like, what was I gonna do? Was I gonna lie and just never bring it up? Or would I humble myself and say that I was indeed wrong? And I think the old me would have just ignored it and probably never, would have stayed clear of that conversation. Maybe act like it never happened. But you know what? I decided to apologize, and I said that I was wrong. And that was just a huge moment for me. You see, moments like that happen in relationships because relationships, all types of relationships, they're reflecting you. Relationships reflect yourself. Relationships are like a mirror. And in life, everything is a relationship. You have a relationship with everything around you. That's why the universe is reflecting you back at you. You go into nature, that is you right there. It's reflecting you back at you. Everything is an aspect of yourself. So I was so happy that I did that. It was not easy for me. These are the tough things. We can act all tough and stuff. We can put on all these masks, all these personas. We can act however we want. But that is the hard work right there. The inner work. When you are facing yourself, you can actually see that most people in this world right now, they are running away from themselves. We don't want to face ourselves. We are afraid of ourselves. We are afraid of being ourselves, and we are also afraid of how powerful that we are. I remember when I wanted to start typing out that you are a God, I am a God. And I'm saying that because God is within all of us. The Creator is inside all of us. And just thinking about right now, I grew up Catholic. I'm just like, can I really say that I am God? Like what is that? But now I say it all the time. I'm just like, these are all just labels. These are all just labels, but I really do feel that power. But like I said, that is the hard work. Truly, truly facing yourself. Truly admitting that maybe your life, where it is right now, it is your doing. It is your karma. It's like you have made the decision that led you here. But also, there's the flip side to it. Because if you are the one that brought you here, you are the only one that can take yourself out of it. But you have to face yourself, and it is scary. But I love that work. I love it. I absolutely love it. These are the beautiful moments. Look for these moments. Get away from the ego so that way you don't miss these moments. Choose love. Choose love. In every moment, you have an option to pick love or fear, life or death. Which one are you going to choose? That's what life is all about, really. it's either separation or community. It's either bringing you closer to yourself or bringing you farther away from yourself. And we kind of go like this and this and this all the time, really, because life is always bringing us new experiences. I'm doing my best to pick love in every moment. And I'm giving myself self-love all the time, daily. That's why I change what I eat, what I listen to. I do a lot of things, but, I'm not saying that you have to do it my way. Follow your gut, follow your intuition. And this channel, I inspire you to go out and figure out who you are and then express that. You don't need to be anything like me. I don't want you to be anything like me. Be you, be different. That way, if you're different, then when I talk to you, when I'm around you, I'm experiencing you. I'm experiencing something else. I'm experiencing another aspect of myself, not just a copycat of me. So I don't want people to be like me. I don't want people to do exactly what I do. I just want them to be happy. I love to see people express themselves. I love to see people love themselves. I love to see people just be who they are and not be afraid. Like, that is just beautiful to me. And I just love to watch them talk, because then you want to pay attention, I think a lot of times we don't pay attention to people because conversations can be so boring. They can be so shallow. It's like, shallow conversation is not always bad, but some people just have shallow conversations all the time, and I can't do it. But you're gonna have shallow conversation if you're not going within, if you're not diving deep, infinite waters. If you're not diving deep, your conversations are gonna be shallow. You are going to be a shallow person. You're not gonna have much to talk about because there's not gonna be much that you're passionate about. But when you're passionate about something, like how passionate I am about life, I can talk about this for hours. I can talk about this forever. I can talk about this every day for the rest of my life, and I'll never get bored. That's passion. That's love. That's depth. That's depth. See, we need to go deeper. We need to go deeper within us. Let's avoid these ego trips. If you're in an ego trip right now, it's okay. I'm sure I'll go on another ego trip. Ego trips are always gonna be there. The ego's always gonna be there trying to pull you away. That's why you gotta choose love. Choose the things that make you happy, that make you feel good, that make you feel connected. Choose those things that you can do effortlessly. Don't force things. Do not force things. Just let them happen. In life, it's so much easier to just let them happen. That is what I do now on a regular basis. I don't waste all my energy. I'm just calm. I breathe. I take the path of least resistance. I enjoy life. And, I don't judge people. Like that non-judgment rule. If you want to avoid ego trips, or if you're in ego trip right now and you want to get out of it, practice non-judgment. That is just a huge thing that I do, and it takes time. You're gonna realize once you start practicing this non-judgment, you're gonna realize how judgmental you have been, and how judgmental we have been kind of programmed to be. We're always judging, and that's judging for what? We're always judging, we're always comparing, and you gotta ask yourself, what does judging, comparing, what does all that do for you? Does that benefit you any? Or should you spend your time on yourself, practicing your craft, doing what you love, focusing on what you want, so that way you can live your dreams? It's as simple as that. So that's my video for the day, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified for new videos. And if you have any questions, any videos any topic you'd like me to speak on, of course, let me know in the comment section below, or hit me up on my social media. I have Instagram. Instagram is my favorite, so hit me up on there. Yeah. And yeah, I've been doing live videos on Instagram too, and I think I'll start doing live on YouTube pretty soon. And I have my potluck coming up this weekend. If you're in Massachusetts, and near the Boston area, it's in Natick, Massachusetts. Stop by. I would love to meet you. I'd love to give you a big hug, a nice smile, and just talk. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.